These are the stories
There is a foundation out there that helps you get back into it.
of organizations making a difference.
What really limits our ability to do something is people's imagination.
And empowering others across Canada.
When I get into that sledge, I'm free, man. I'm playing hockey.
It's a great organization and it's worth supporting.
In our community.
It's early morning as grade 4 student Abby Aronson rises for school.
Abby,
Yeah?
do you want leftover pasta or do you want something else for lunch?
Her first stop is the kitchen for breakfast with her parents and younger sister Nellie.
I want to have cream cheese on challah.
Okay.
This year, Abby was accepted into the reverse integration program at the Magee Center School in Montreal, where typical developing kids are part of classes with students with varying differences. Everyone in the family, including Mom, Jennifer Gold, was excited for the experience.
We were ecstatic. Like when they called us to say she was going to get to go to the school, we told her and she was like really, really happy.
For 1 year, she leaves her regular neighborhood school to attend classes with a more diverse group of peers.
She's excited by diversity, and so when there was a chance for her to go to school with people who use adaptive technologies and like have disabilities where they may be nonverbal, I was like, I couldn't wait to see how she would use her, like, it's like her superpower, her ability to talk to anybody.
Fresh.
She's been like that since she was born. Like, she's just Miss Personality.
Now, do you want to help me? Yeah, sure.
With breakfast done, Abby and her sister finish their morning routine. For Abby, leaving her regular school for an entire year was worth it.
There your break's done. Let's go choose your jumpsuit. I like it because even though my friends aren't here, I can make new ones that aren't exactly like me. Because my other friends will walk the same as me and talk the same as me, and we learn the same things in our classes.
Which hair tie do you want?
The golden one.
The golden one? Nice choice. Turn.
And Abby's confidence has made it easier for her to make new friends.
Good.
Looking good. Smashing.
Ooh, I look good.
You do look good.
I wanted to meet new people because I didn't really see anybody in wheelchairs or with special help or anything when I was at my old school.
Abby, did you want to borrow my scarf again today?
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
My jacket is on.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Nellie. Bye, Mommy. Bye, Jolene. Bye, Melvin. Bye. Let's go, Daddy.
Because of the distance from home, Abby gets a ride to school from her father.
You got the seatbelt okay?
Yeah.
The facility Abby attends is the brand new Magee Center School, which was completed just 2 years ago. It also houses the Philip E. Layton School for the Blind.
Have a great day.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Abby's routine at school begins with meeting her classmates in the school's cafeteria.
You gotta go get your backpack. You guys are gonna go to class now.
Vice Principal Greg Watson is on hand to welcome the students.
The mandate for Magee Center School is we service students with communication disorders, students with mobility issues, and deaf students. We have a class for the deaf. When you come here, I mean, this is just a school. I mean, we do all the same things that other schools do. We have robotics programs, we have music classes. And I think it's easy sometimes if you never come here to just assume that it's very different or that, you know, everything is very different here. And I think sometimes when kids come and they're exposed to just how normal it is, I think they're a little bit surprised, and it's just normalizing for everybody to see that even though a kid may be coming around in a walker, he's still playing soccer and he's still running in the hall and he's still doing, you know, has all the same desires and aspirations that other kids have.
Hi, Patty. Some of them don't walk the same. Some of them don't talk the same. Some of them need more help or less help than me.
I think it's really valuable to be able to have kids come and see some of the challenges that some of their peers can have, or some of the obstacles that they have.
Okay, that's okay. But you can bring it next week, that's okay.
Grade 4 teacher Melissa Racine meets up with Abby and her peers to bring them to their classroom.
Hey, good morning, Dylan. Good morning. Good morning, Jonah.
With 17 years of teaching experience behind her, Melissa is used to dealing with the differing needs of her students.
Now I've taught the same grade for like the last 5 or 6 years, and every class is so different because it's just the unique kids that you get, and everything is new and fresh. Like I find it's always exciting because there's always new challenges and new things that you have to figure out, like how can I get that child to learn? So it changes all the time in that sense. So we're going to be working on recording measurements with two types of units.
Class sizes are kept small at Magee so that every student can receive the help and attention they need.
Exactly, you got it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a long jump, okay? Yes. You're gonna try to jump as far as you can. Who wants to try it first? Okay, go ahead, Abby. What's special about teaching here is, I guess because you have such a small class, you really feel like a family. You feel like really connected, you know, to the children. You get to know them so well. I'm gonna use my meter stick. But you see what happens? Everybody here has a different way of doing something, and that's okay, and it's accepted, and nobody really notices, you know, that someone needs an iPad to write as opposed to a pencil, or needs a walker. Like, it's just an accepted thing.
Go!
As part of math class, Melissa uses long jump as a way for the students to gain experience measuring distances. Fadi, who uses a wheelchair, is given a stuffed animal to throw instead.
Ready, stretch out your arm.
Abby doesn't think twice about assisting him with his throw.
3, 2, 1. Go!
Oh my
God. That's super long, Patty. We need another ruler. 5 rulers, Daddy, 5.
And while Abby is learning important lessons about empathy and inclusion, she's not the only one who benefits by being in the classroom.
High 5. Nice job.
Abby is like a little fireball. She's super enthusiastic, has so much energy. Having these models in your classroom who are usually so enthusiastic to learn, it brings a beautiful energy to the class, and it influences the other kids.
I can do it. Really? I can't.
It's this dynamic that makes Magee such a unique place.
I can't imagine teaching anywhere else. I could never leave this place. It's too special to me.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
Back at the Magee Center School in Montreal, Parker Malone, another reverse integrated student, is in his grade 5 level math class.
Does someone want to come up and do this one? Can you simplify it? Can you break it down into its smallest form? Parker?
RI is like reverse integration, so you come here for 1 year and you kind of help out the kids here while you're learning. So you're kind of like one of the people that helps them, but you're also a student learning here.
Today, former RI student Bronwyn McMorrin is teaching students to reduce fractions.
Okay, so you did 6/12 over here. 6/12, right? Divided by 3
Wait a second.
Ewan, a visually impaired boy, follows along with a fraction board.
Yeah, check your answer. I started here at 4 years old, and now I'm here again, full circle from RI student to teacher, and now teaching 2 RI students in my math class. And I really do think it formed my personality and my outlook on life in some ways that wouldn't have been formed without the unique experience of being in such a diverse setting at such a young age.
And that equals 1/2.
Exactly. Do we agree with Ewan?
Yeah.
And if we look at our fraction circles. This makes it really easy for us to see or to feel. I think I was just brought up to interact with anyone and everyone in the same way, despite what mode of transport they use or what they look like. Yes, I could fill it in with something else, but it would not be equivalent.
While at Mackay, reverse integrated students learned the same curriculum as students in other Montreal area public schools.
So how many tenths would equal 1/2? 5. Here, I put the tenths in front of you.
4? Oh, very disappointing. It was me.
It was Parker. When I'm planning activities or subject matters, it's the same as it would be in any other grade 6 class. I'm providing the same information, it just might be in a different way, or then if I do a group lesson and then work on them one-on-one individually, okay, what did you take from that group lesson or what did you not, and how can I now give it to you individually in a different way?
As the recess bell rings, Parker heads outside while Bronwyn helps a student with motor needs put his boots on.
In? Yep.
For Abby, recess is a chance to see other friends and practice the sign language skills she's learned since coming to Mackay.
When I came, before I started learning sign language, and so when I heard about it, I thought of it as a chance that I could learn more.
It's often at recess where the differences between students at Mackay just fade away.
When you come here, it's quite different. It's like, wow, these are also people, the same as me, same feelings, same inner workings. That interaction, I think, does slowly develop, and you see, yeah, they might have a different outlook, or they might use a different mode of transportation, or speak in a different way than we do. But we can play the same way we would play with anyone, and we can speak with them the same way we would speak with anyone. And that definitely, you see that transition over the time.
I'm getting braces on the 23rd.
After recess, Parker attends English class with grade 5 teacher Melanie Phillip. From her point of view, the RI program creates better leaders for the future.
The RI program is looking at encouraging young people, children, to become better leaders in their communities. They learn compassion and care. They go beyond just accepting and tolerating other human beings. They look at really finding ways to include people with disabilities in society and being creative about it, because it's not easy to find ways to include.
Okay, so I'm seeing who's doing what independently.
No aspect of the student experience is overlooked at Mackay.
Good job, good work. You did really well.
So Karyne, can you ring the singing bowl and we'll change your stations?
To maintain a calming atmosphere in class, Melanie uses a singing bowl to let students know it's time to change stations.
So listening to reading, Emilio, Max, Kalel, Amir. Work on writing, Benji, Parker, Riley, Emma, and WordWorks, Karyne. Go ahead, changing stations.
It's not about academics, it really is about finding ways to live in a diverse society in peace. And so not looking at tribal thinking, but global humankind, diversity-oriented inclusion.
Perfect. Okay, so now the game is to work on your bounce pass, but also to work on your speed.
After English, Parker and his classmates move on to gym to practice basketball.
3, 2, 1, go! Let's go, guys, run.
It was after Parker first applied to the school that his dad, Jason Malone, realized just how much his son wanted to attend Mackay.
It's one of those things that we've learned about Parker throughout this experience. He's a kid that really wants to help. Actually, he was so much wanting to do this that he was really hoping and worked really hard to get his grades up to make sure that he would be accepted into this program.
While many people apply to the RI program, Not everyone gets accepted. Vice Principal Greg Watson knows it's important to find kids who are the right fit for Mackay.
We're looking for kids who want to be here and want to be involved and, don't feel like they're being pressured to be here. So we're not looking for a particular type of kid. I think we're just looking for kids who would feel comfortable coming here and being a part of our environment.
You know what? Good job, team. You were very efficient. You were communicating. You were working as a team.
Since Parker has been at the school, his dad has come to understand and appreciate the program at a whole new level.
Yeah, one of the things when Parker was accepted into this program, we saw from our friends and even family resistance, right? How is Parker going to handle this?
Have a good lunch. Thanks, Parker.
What I found out is that this is a very unique program and not very well understood. And what we're trying to do in telling our friends and family is, this is an amazing program. I would hope that this program expands much more than it is right now.
After just 3 months at the school, Parker's entire family is already learning important lessons from his experience.
One of the things I found that is very important to say about this program, it gives the ability to my son to understand that his friends at this school might look different, might be different, but at the end of the day, they're just kids.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
After being in operation for decades, Mackay Center School's reverse integration program has produced a rich and diverse group of alumni. For Kirsten Hardiman, the experience continues to help her today as she balances her competitive hockey schedule with school.
So I went in grade 4, and it was honestly one of the best experiences I've ever had. I think I'm a lot more confident, I guess you could say, just because of that experience, obviously. And I think I realized that, it's okay to be different and it's okay to be yourself.
Her dream now is to one day return to Mackay as a teacher.
Any break I get from school, I'm always at Mackay helping out, volunteering, because I just love it. It's what I want to do when I'm older. I want to be a teacher for them. So honestly, I love it.
As an athlete, the inclusive nature of every class, including Mackay's gym classes, made a mark on Kirsten.
You can play any sport if you put your mind to it, in my opinion, regardless if you can walk, if you can't, if you don't have an arm or something like that. You can play a sport. There's different ways, there's different technology, especially in this day, that allows them.
Okay, so we're gonna keep working on our dribbling today, just for our warm-up.
Today in Abby's gym class, the teachers continue to hold all students to the same standards.
Fatty, you're gonna be passing the ball with Joelle. Okay, you're gonna be working with one hand and the other hand. So we're gonna take your tray off, and when I stop the music, you're gonna push the ball into the bin. Sounds good?
When Vice Principal Greg Watson first arrived at Mackay Center School, the practice of complete inclusion was a bit of a surprise.
It was very different. It was very different than I was expecting, because when you see gym class and you see, there's kids in wheelchairs, there's kids in walkers, there's kids who, maybe have different mobility issues, playing alongside and playing with the same amount of intensity or the same degree of competitiveness as their peers. It's quite empowering just to see that.
Ready? Trap and push to me. Good one.
They just want to come and play and run and do things with everybody.
You're gonna make 10 consecutive bounce passes. Step, push, good. 2, 3.
After Abby learns the bounce shot technique from her teacher, she's paired with Fadi for the exercise.
So it's really important is that you push so that it goes forward and onto his lap. So like in a diagonal. Push, you go get it, you pass. That's it.
Interacting with peers in wheelchairs is just part of her regular school day.
The first day of school, I saw a wheelchair going down the hall. I was like, oh, cool. And now when I see a wheelchair going down, I'm like, hi. And I don't really notice that they're in a wheelchair.
Abby's learned to look beyond the difference or disability to the person underneath, an important perspective she's taking to the outside world.
It's changed the way that we talk about people with disabilities because she will correct us, which is really helpful. And also, I think it's made us less anxious ourselves to approach people who are different. So if she's taught us anything, it's to be curious and to be honest about your curiosity. Because oftentimes, people who have disabilities or who have a chronic illness or who have something going on that's visible that makes them different, they know, and they welcome conversations about it. It doesn't have to be weird.
It's time for lunch. Go put the ball back and line up at the door.
As gym class ends and the school day comes to a close, Abby and her peers gather in the cafeteria one last time to get ready to go home. Seeing the RI program continue to promote inclusion and diversity is important for teacher Bronwyn McMorrin.
It feels quite wonderful and lovely to see that this is something that can work very well and hopefully will eventually expand out into the rest of the world.
While Abby is here for only 1 year, her mom hopes the experience is one that will stay with her for the rest of her life.
I think I just want her to not lose this wonder, and that she's now looking at the world with accessibility in mind.
For Abby, rather than noticing differences, she now sees similarities.
I just talk to them like normal people because they are normal people. We're all like human beings, and we have smart brains. All of us have smart brains. Every brain is different, but we all think good things and think smart things. Everything is smart that everybody thinks.
For Jennifer, the experience for her daughter is everything she could have hoped for.
It's any parent's dream is to have a kid that wants to be good and wants to help and wants to change the world, and she really does.
As a former RI student, Bronwyn McMorrin knows that this is what the reverse integration program is all about.
The barriers or the preconceived notions fall away, and it's just kids being kids.
Produced and directed by Tim Alp. Writer-story editor Maureen Carter. Additional writing Tim Alp. Narrator Mark Phoenix. Director of photography Mike Teen. Camera operator Tim Alp. Location audio Richard Noe. Production manager Gayle Nakamoto. Editor Tracy Pacinas. Assistant editor Karyne Martin. Integrated described video specialist M. Williams. Regional content specialist Karen Magee. Coordinating producer Jennifer Johnson. Consulting producer Colette Vosberg. Director production Cara Nye. Director programming Brian Perdue. VP programming and production John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Produced with the participation of the Canada Media Fund. Produced by Mountain Road Productions. Copyright 2020, Accessible Media Inc.